Welcome to another episode of Toby's Stupid Vlog.
Happy Saturday. We've come into Kew. It's looking quite good today. I mean, ignoring the greyness. You have blossom and tulips and a temperate house. What more could you want? It's looking pretty good. Good afternoon. This is Hyde Park. Check out the bluebells. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to Grosvenor House this evening for a bit of work. It's been the boat race today. We didn't go and actually stand by the finish line largely because the weather was like this, wet and grey. So we watched it on telly instead. And Cambridge won all of them, all four. Men's, women's and both reserve races. So that was fun. Haven't done a lot else today after yesterday's sojourn around Kew, which was very nice. Today's been take it easy, but now I've got to do a few hours work. And then tomorrow, the week begins properly with some more parade related shenanigans and planning for upcoming trips and things. Oh look, it's in Dorchester. I think that says everything. Check out the tunnel. It's pretty cool, isn't it? This is where they come in. I've left again, it's still light. Excellent. Right, where am I going? This way. Yes, so I can go home and have some dinner, and then I just need to worry about what's happening this week, which is here, there and everywhere. I'm basically meeting lots of different people for lunches to talk about lots of different projects, and and hopefully I'm seeing Vino on Tuesday evening. So that's all rather exciting. It's weird when you work weekends, it kind of slightly messes with your sort of relaxation vibe. But anyway, be back soon and that will be cool. We'll check out electric scooter. Totally illegal, love it. Good morrow, happy Monday and all that shenanigans. April is here, truly, in its grey and slightly cool form. It's my birthday this week and I have no plans and no wants, which I guess is kind of inevitable at some point. It's just, as the older you get, the less things you want that you don't otherwise buy yourself. And eventually, and I think this year's the first one, I literally don't want anything at all. Like, I've tried really hard to come up with ideas. I've spent hours looking for things that might be of interest, and there just aren't any. And that's not to say that there aren't things I want more generally, but they're not things I expect people to get me for a birthday present. So I'll take experiences and meals out and those kind of things and make the most of them. Good afternoon. So the blossom has now come out on the trees down this end, and it's mostly gone down the trees down the other end. So really would be nice with some blue sky, but what can you do? There's a thing about spring, it's a trade-off. So I'm just doing a little walk around Kew. I've got a meeting in Starbucks in Kew in about an hour's time, so I thought I'd take the really, really long way there and do a full lap of the postcode. Get some fresh air and what have you. Oh, look, there's still some blossom down here, but leaves as well. Yes, anyway, so I've been playing massive catch up on the vlogs. I'm hugely behind. There's no excuse and there's no one to blame but myself. As of this moment, I'm currently editing Malmesbury, which is like 5 weeks ago. That's terrible. Apologies, but by the time you see this, that problem at least has been rectified. I've got to get a bit better at this. There's too many other things going on that have slowed my progress. actually starting to smell like spring now. You can smell the grass, and you can smell the pollen's beginning to awaken, which I'm sure for people with hay fever is a nightmare. But it's also because it's actually got a bit warmer for the first time in a while, and there's a bit of humidity in the air, so all these things become a bit more noticeable. But it's nice, for me at least. It's very pleasant. Magnolias and blossoms looking good, various colours. And then over here they've always roped this bit off, just because otherwise people step on them and treat them with contempt. But these are the fritillaries, which are these little bonnets. Let's give you a bit more zoom, which are quite adorable, but you can't actually get close enough to take a photo really. They look cool. Good morning, happy Tuesday. I thought I'd visit this now whilst it's still fresh in my mind. It's talking about work this year. Isn't it weird how sometimes the best clients are also the worst clients? Like the ones with the most opportunity, the ones with the more interesting tasks, the ones that present new challenges, often present them in the most challenging way, and you end up with, you know, a lot of hurdles to get to this new thing. Whereas when somebody comes along and, for example, says, "I'd like you to film an award show," there's no challenges. It's not the most exciting job in the world, not even close, but it's so straightforward. So, you know, this is the problem I've got at the moment. The more I'm trying to step up, as it were, the more headachy it becomes. And that's, you know, it's all still really, it's a good problem to have, but it is a problem. And when you're a sole trader like me, and I'm the only person who can resolve these issues, it sometimes becomes a little bit like, you need a sort of zen moment where you need to shout at a camera like this. You need something to sort of clear your mind. I'm going to clear my mind using Crunchy Nut Cornflakes. Not a sponsor, just hungry. Good afternoon. I realised again that I'm a terrible vlogger. The reason for that is that I was up at nearly just before 6 this morning, went all the way to Canary Wharf, did a keynote for an award show, came home, filmed nothing, like genuinely nothing. I'm just going to say I was tired, I guess. I think I was. I am, so I probably still was. You can is that incoherent mumbling proof enough? Been home, I've kind of relaxed for a little bit and sorted some stuff out and got my head together, and now I'm going to go and with my laptop and go and do some edity work in queue, because it's a beautiful day and it's a shame not to be outside even if you are working. So that's what I'm going to attempt this afternoon. I'm going to see if there's a space in my little greenhouse, and if there is, great, and if there isn't, I'll find somewhere else. What a massive difference sunlight makes. It just totally changes your mood. It's great, I love it. Very happy I came in today. Checking out the blossoms. So you see these little flowers popping out of the soil underneath. This is a black walnut tree, I believe. Yes. So these little flowers are actually from a parasite. They're called a toothwort, and they can't produce, they don't have their own chlorophyll, so they literally have to rely on the root, which they tap into of their walnut, and they get nutrients from the walnut tree. And you might think, well, that's a bit selfish, you know, parasites getting their energy off another animal. It's not unusual, but it's quite interesting in the case of the walnut, because walnut trees have a very, very close relationship with fungi generally, and more precisely the fungal network in the soil, and they provide nutrients and what have you, and in exchange the fungi essentially poison the soil in such a way that other plants and trees cannot grow around the walnut and compete with it. So it's a really strange symbiotic relationship, more than just a parasitic one. So they do each other favours, and that's why you really can't grow anything around a walnut tree, because it will die pretty quickly. But I just thought that was interesting, the way that fungi work with other plants and especially trees is quite fascinating, and the way that they communicate is quite fascinating, using the network of mycelium that exist in the soil. So if you find that even slightly fascinating, then can I recommend you find some lectures by a guy called Dr. Paul Stamets, who is a mycelial expert and has spoken on this thing at TED Talks and such like, and it's quite fascinating, and it really is like a biological internet. Good morning. It is the 11th of April. It is my birthday. It is my 39th birthday. And just to quickly discuss two important things that happened in the last 24 hours. There has been an extension to Article 50, which means Brexit is not happening on Friday, so that's good. It's now probably not happening any time before the 31st of August, although who knows, because all the people in charge are rather incompetent on the British side, at least. And so that's good news. That's a nice birthday present. Second piece of good news, Julian Assange has been arrested. So that's excellent news as well, because he's a nasty little shit and who thinks he's above justice. So he's been arrested on skipping bail, because obviously he skipped bail 7 years ago and legged it to the Ecuadorian embassy. They've been very patient up to this point, but they've now decided that he is a little shit and they don't want him hanging around. So they withdrew asylum, and he was arrested this morning. So that's good. So a couple of nice things to kick off the day. Now, as I mentioned, it's my 39th birthday. I started doing these vlogs just before my 30th birthday in 2010. I think it was the 8th of April, maybe the 7th. You'll have to look, because I can't remember. But it was in Valencia just before my 30th birthday. So this is a little bit crazy now. So in terms of how long I'll be doing it, it'll be 10 years come April, and next year, I should say. And that's a bonkers amount of time to be doing anything, let alone, looking at a camera and filming yourself talking. So yeah, it's been an adventure. It continues to be an adventure. I continue to be terrible at uploading on time. I don't imagine that's going to change, but I will continue to upload. So as of right now, I was born 38 years, 364 days, and 21 hours and 45 minutes ago. Which means it's not, whilst it's my birthday, I'm not actually 39 until 6:15. And I'm living every minute. It's wonderful. It's a nice afternoon. So what's happening now is I'm going for a little walk. I'm going to get on the train at Mortlake. I'm going to go to Battersea Park via Queenstown Road Station and meet Crystal there. Then I'm going to go to Battersea Park and see whether we can do a bit of crazy golf, and whether it's pleasant enough, which currently does seem to be, whether it's calm enough outside for a little bit of putting. This is, well, there you go, in two. That is a par two, so that was rather good. This is Putt in the Park in Battersea, and that was hole number one. Hole number two is over here. So after 12 quite challenging holes with water that I went in a lot and very, very, very smooth AstroTurf, I got 49 strokes and Crystal got 39 strokes, which is quite impressive actually. All the while there were people go aping above our heads. There's the ape. And Greg Rosetsky was watching as well, which is quite random, but there we go. And I met a nice dog, so it's all going rather well. Good morning, it is Friday. It's another lovely day. I do have quite a lot of work to do today. That's mainly because I did basically none yesterday, because you don't have to work on your birthday apparently or something. Anyway, we went out for a lovely meal last night. Here are some of the highlights. My starter, which was excellent, king prawns with black quinoa and various little sauces and things, and some smoked salmon. And the main was actually pork cheeks, which was really good on a sort of pepper sauce, and some potato anna on the side, some broccoli, and then dessert was a spectacular sort of frangipan deconstructed. So there we go. So all in all, a very nice meal, and it was at I think the restaurant's called Melody, but it's in the old St Paul's School in Hammersmith. This is a beautiful red brick building, and it's really nice. It feels kind of cosy and homely and out in the countryside, even though it's right in the middle of Hammersmith. Anyway, from one set of eating to another, I need to go and buy things to eat for breakfast because I've run out of them, and then I need to sit down in my living room and crack on with the 2 or 3 outstanding projects that need doing before Monday, which is fun. And in a moment we shall get to a word of the week and whatnot, once I think of one. Hi there. It's only 5:20, but the light's failing and I haven't done a word of the week. I'm going to come back to that. I've been stuck indoors all day working on projects that I'm not getting a lot of satisfaction with, if I'm honest. And it's very annoying. And I want to be outdoors, even though it's crap. So, I don't know what to say. It's just one of those days. Every now and again you have a work day and it just doesn't work. You know, you're not quite motivated. You can't quite do it. Even when you're doing things that are good, you don't think they're that good. And it's just hard to fathom. I might eat some chocolate. My internal monologue's broken. Right, let's do a word of the week. What have we been up to this week that seems vaguely relevant? Okay, you know what? It's spring and leaves are starting to appear on the trees, and, you know, symbol of rebirth and blah, 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 etc. So let's do leaves. They come back again in autumn when everyone talks about them, but they're first appearing now. So we're going to do leaves. The leaves is the word of the week. So first of all, in German, the leaves is die Blätter. Die Blätter. That is leaves in German. It's plural, obviously, die Blätter. And in Italian, it is le foglie. Le foglie. Which obviously sounds a bit like foliage, which has probably got the same root word. So there we go. That is leaves in German and Italian, and that is this week's word of the week. Right, I'm going to leave it there for this week because I'm not feeling at my most inspired. So there's probably no more point me carrying on. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed having quite a fun birthday. And I will see you next week, where I genuinely don't know what's in store next week. So that will be fun finding out. So come join me and we'll find out together.